This is a bit of a random one, right? But I'm sure some of you guys have been watching some of the streamer university stuff that's been going on, or just finished by the way. Kai Cenat put together the streamer university, which is a kind of reality TV live streaming type of event where he invited a bunch of streamers down. Some of them had to apply, some of them he personally invited to a quasi university campus where they would learn, where they would have different classes where they learn different aspects about how to become or maintain or reach, your streaming goals. A lot of the classes were, basically bullshit, just fucking around for the first fuck of it. A lot of it was live streamed, maybe via the students themselves or just other, neutral kind of streamer university cameras filming people. Lots of really entertaining individuals, blah, 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 blah. But in the midst of all of that, two people have kind of stood out and become like stars now, I think, in this whole streaming scene. And the two that become stars out of this are the girls, which is this girl called India Love, and the other one's called Cooking with Kaya, right? These two girls are the ones that have kind of blown up off the back of streaming university. I hadn't really known. The only thing I've known of India Love, to be, not to be rude to her and stuff, was that viral clip of her in the game in that fucking park back in the day. That's the only thing I actually remember about this girl. I don't really know much about her, right? Apart from that, it's like incidents. And then with Cooking with Kaya, I know that a lot of young guys like her, right? I know a lot of young guys like that Cooking with Kaya girl. She's super young, and she enjoys cooking with her bum out and shit. And people like to look at her bum. People like to look at the fuss she cooks, and Bob's your uncle, Granny's your aunt. Well, some people on social media, as this girl has pointed out, are very upset that both of these girls have become quite close to DDG. In India Lover's case, there might be a blossoming romance going on there. And they decided, both girls, to get on their live stream and basically talk to the camera and say how much they love DDG. And obviously this is in light of all the stuff that's been accused of him from his baby mum regarding the domestic abuse, regarding the custody of his child and shit, or their child, blah, 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 blah. But essentially the narrative out there, or the accusation that's been put out there with evidence from Halle herself, taking pictures of the bruises that she's got. There's obviously an account from Ruby Rose from time ago where she alleged that DDG physically abused her and shit. Allegedly again, I'm saying. People were kind of surprised and taken aback, especially the girls who are big fans of these two, India Love and Cooking with Kaya. They were surprised that they would step out and defend DDG so hard. And I'm surprised in general, and I've said this previously on other podcasts, something that's really it always kind of perplexes me when it comes to social media stuff. And I don't know if it's just like people that speak online. I don't know if this actually applies to the real world. But it's always surprised me why it seems like for some women, not sure why it's not all women. No, it shouldn't be any women actually. But for some reason, some women don't seem to have like an immediate automatic red flag, an automatic kind of X, go away, fuck you, you're ruled out type of thing with guys who have like accusations or charges regarding domestic abuse, regarding rape, regarding kiddie diddling. There are some women out there who will genuinely look past that sort of stuff, which I guess is beneficial because, maybe some people deserve second chances. I don't know. But you would have thought those type of offenses, domestic violence, rape, fucking diddling of a kid, you'd imagine those three would be the main three kind of warning signs for all, apart from all the other stuff, right? Those would be the main three. If you heard your dude that you're interested in, or somebody that you were dating, or someone that's pursuing you, had those things on their jacket, you would probably run a mile if you're a woman. Because if you beat up one lady, most likely you're going to be beat up. If you raped one lady, you could possibly be the next one too. If you diddled one kid, there's no telling what you could do to your children in the future. So, you'd probably run away from that type of person. But it doesn't seem to happen. If anything, I don't think I've seen a prominent person online who's been accused of rape, diddling, whatever, who's died alone. I can't think of one. I can't think of a prominent quote-unquote celebrity who has those things people mention, in terms of kids, but who has died alone. They always have somebody by their side. They always have a doting partner, wife, whatever, who's ride or die for them. So I wonder what that's about. So anyway, in short, let me play the clip for you. This is India speaking about DDG and what he means to her and shit. And and basically going out of her way to say, yeah, he's a really nice guy to me.
The fuck, like, when you got genuine people in your corner and a genuine person like Moo, who genuinely is like a great guy, who doesn't have no expectations other than wanting to see another person win and do good and be
By the way, I don't know who Moo is. I'm assuming Moo is like DDG's real name. I don't know why girls on the internet. I don't know what it is about these. I don't know what it is in general. Wags do this too. I don't know what it is about girls that like to do this thing where they call that guy like not by the name, not by their stage name or their rapper name. It's always by like their real name. I guess it's like to show that, oh yeah, we're really close, you know. I know their real name. I call their government. It's like, oh, all right, brother, we get it. We get it, girl. We get it.
Respectful, and every great attribute and characteristic in a person, he shows that in every way to me. So I don't give a rat's ass who, what, when, where, why, and how. Like, I'm
strong language, man. You don't need to go that far, you know? You don't need to go that. No wonder the girlies are not having it. Like this girl on a quote tweet said, this girl called Mimi. I had a nice coworker who was never disrespectful to me. However, I later discovered he was incredibly crazy. He stalked his ex-wife, harassed her, beat her, and eventually killed her. I learned this from the news. Men can be very different people. You look and sound dumb, bitch. So I'm surprised that there's not a lot of solidarity in those type of things, you know? There's that catchphrase that people use about believe all women, but other women don't even believe other women, you know? That's the funny thing about it. People like to say believe all women, but even other women don't believe other women, and it's weird because they don't believe them in topics or in subject matters or in areas that you would think most women will automatically side with a woman. Like when it comes to rape, when it comes to domestic violence, when it comes to kiddie diddling, you'd assume most women would have like an aversion to that sort of thing, would feel some sort of affinity, some sort of connection with a woman that's going through something like that because they've, you know, maybe they're going through something like that themselves, maybe they've heard of other people in their family, experienced it with their friends, so they automatically have sympathy and empathy with that person and want to reach out and support in whatever way they can, sharing a post, liking something, meeting them in real life, blah 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 blah. But in reality, that's not the case, which is why I always say, and why it's something that I'm gonna die on the hill of. I think my saying, the real enemy of women isn't men, it's actually other women, is going to hold true until the end of time. The real enemy of women isn't men, it's actual women.
Much team Moo. I'm very much team, like, you know, you got to, like, do for those and pour into those who pour into you. And
Hold on. So you're supporting DDG, not because you think he didn't do it, like hit Halle Bailey. Which I'm not even sure what happened, to be fair, because those two are very toxic. I'm not going to lie. Those two are very toxic. They're very manipulative in their own ways. DDG weaponizing his audience, using his streams to kind of, you know, get on her doing what she does to make him look like a bad dad and whatever. They're both very manipulative in that way. So I don't know who to believe. And when it comes to domestics, I don't really like to even to get involved. Whatever they sort out, how they sort it out. But she's not even saying, I believe the guy. He's my friend, I believe him. He didn't do what she said he accused him. She's just saying, I'm riding with DDG because he's really nice. He supported me. He's had my back. He's got me into the streaming thing, or he's kind of held my hand. He's introduced me to all these people. I took part in streaming university. I mean, like, she's saying it from that angle. She's not even like she believes DDG didn't do it. She's just like, even if he did do it, I don't care. I'm riding with my guy, which is actually worse.
And you got to, like, really pay attention to people's character these days. Like, behind the scenes type of character, when nobody's watching type of character, and I feel like he gives and how.
Surely if you're there behind the scenes, that's not really behind the scenes, and it's not really like, wouldn't he want to present his best face if he's around you and stuff? Because he might be into you, or because you guys are close anyway as friends. Again, I'm fascinated. I'm just fascinated. I'm sure there's a reason for it. I'm truly fascinated why for some women, stuff like this isn't a red flag that would immediately rule them out. That would immediately make them rule out any guy that was into them, that had that on their jacket. You know, like, oh, you hit other women, okay, I can't do this. Oh, you might have raped another girl, I can't do this. Oh, you got PDF stuff on your docket, I can't do this. Whereas some women will like hear that sort of stuff and be like, oh, you know what, that was a couple of years ago, that was with some other girl, I ain't gonna get hit. Oh, that was with that girl's kids, my kids are gonna keep them close to me. It's like, huh. And then the Cooking with Kaya had the same sort of post where she kind of defended DDG. I'll play her response here, talking wild about DDG.
But Diddy is actually a genuine, nice person. Like, he is shark. He be sharking. But to me, he's just a genuine person. He's never been like a weirdo. He's never been like, he's very respectful. He's very helpful. He's very like kind. He really genuinely cares. Like even when I was like around the time I just stopped posting, like he would just randomly text me like, Kaya, keep going, keep posting, this, that, and the third. Like he's very genuine. Yeah, he cool.
I love the defense of like he's cool and genuine, as if like people that do bad things can't also be cool and genuine. If you're accused of doing a bad thing, like people are, it's like I think I was reading the other day. No, I saw the other day actually. Sorry, I was watching a documentary. No, I was watching a couple of documentaries. I've been watching a few true crime things. I watched this particular documentary on Amazon Prime called, I forgot what it was called, but it was about murders that happened in South London. I forgot the guy's name as well who killed people. Maybe when I clip it up, I'll put it up on the screen. But there's this really good Amazon documentary out at the moment. It's 2 episodes long, and it's about this guy who killed a bunch of women in parks here in South London, or here in London, sorry, but in the South. I live in the East, but it's in South London. There's this really nice area of parks where they're all connected by this walkway, and people go there and walk dogs and shit. And in the early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, this guy obviously killed a bunch of women. Really horrible crimes. Some of them he did it in front of their kids. Like one particular person, he killed the mum in front of their kid, like literally, like fucking tragic in broad daylight, right? So absolutely horrible crimes. Really brutal attacks, like super vicious attacks, horrible crimes. And obviously back then the police were a bit shit. The guy could have got stopped a long time ago. They didn't take DNA, all these sorts of things, right? Whatever. Long story less long, one of the police officers in a documentary who was at the time basically looking after that case and making sure that person got convicted, was basically saying that these crimes are so horrible, so disturbing. Because basically, I think in statistics when it comes to crime, I think they were saying even back then, when you could get away with more crime because no CCTV cameras and maybe police departments weren't interconnected, he said even back then it was extremely rare for a violent attack to take place on a woman when she had her child. It was extremely rare. But in this case, it was like the common theme. It was almost like he was picking out women who are with their kids, even like super sadistic, right? So he was describing this person, how horrible they are, super disgusting. Then it got to a point where they went to go arrest. They finally found who the person is. Because I think at first they thought it was this one guy who looked very shifty and suspicious. He was a bit of a flasher, but it didn't end up being him. And he ended up getting harassed and stuff, and he ended up getting falsely accused of certain things. Eventually, he was exonerated. Then when they finally found the guy that did it, right? It's almost like the police officer was almost let down when he met him. I think he described it, and I think I've heard that before. I've heard that before on other true crime things, where they say sometimes the person who's accused of or has done the most senseless, violent act or murder, you meet them in real life, and they are a bit of a letdown. They're not the person that you imagine in your head. They're not this crazy monster person. So this guy who they met was very meek looking, very shy. He didn't make eye contact. He was very softly spoken. But this was the guy that was legitimately jumping on women in broad daylight, stabbing them millions of times and shit in front of their kids. One of them, I think he killed one woman, actually, sorry to say this is dark stuff. I think he killed one woman and her child as well, a daughter. Like fucking crazy. So for this girl to suggest that just because somebody's nice to you, you could never imagine them doing the thing that they've been. Again, I'm not saying DDG did what he did to Halle Bailey. I don't know. It's a domestic. I don't even like to get involved in these sort of things. I've got nothing really interesting or insightful to add to these type of things. I think, in my personal opinion, if you're gonna ask me, gun to my head, I think they're both pretty manipulative, and I think Halle Bailey's doing what she needs to do to kind of get custody of that child because she doesn't want him to be with the dad. Maybe it's out of spite because DDG also did a bit too much. Because I think somebody said in my stream, no, somebody said in my comment section actually. Somebody said in my comment section about the Tory Lanez thing, and I fucking love this bar. I forgot who left the comment, but somebody was like, being a gallist doesn't come without consequences, and I think that's what DDG is suffering now. I mean, he got with Halle Bailey. They had a kid. They're really young. I think they're both maybe under 25 or something. Who knows, right? And he thought he could just leave her and go do his own thing, and it'll be blessed. But obviously you can't, innit? You got to at least play the game. You got to at least pretend like you're going to be holding a woman down. You can't just go running off and start doing streams of all these hot girls with beer and stuff and Wendy Ortiz's and all these. Like you can't do this. You have to kind of at least act like you're hurting from the breakup. At least act like you are trying to get back. I mean, no, just play the game to make sure you end your kid's life. He didn't do that, and I think he's paying the consequences of it. It's a bit harsh, the consequences, because she's painting him out to be something that he might not be. But I'm also not going to sit here and say, oh, he categorically could never do it because, I don't know, he smiles and he gives kids or he buys people's groceries when he's in Walmart on live stream. That doesn't mean anything. Do you know what I mean? Just because you're softly spoken and nice doesn't mean you're not capable of like crazy, horrible, violent, sadistic things. Like, you know, it's just odd. But hey, what do I know?
That's not even a glaze. Like, oh my gosh. Y'all have new words every 2 seconds. That's not glaze, y'all. That's genuine. And I didn't say nothing at first because I already knew people was going to be like, oh, she only saying that because she like him or something like that. Like, people just always twisting words, but he really is genuine. He's very respectful.
To you.
Yeah, it's not a glaze. If I literally show y'all our messages, he has never said nothing weird to me. As much as y'all think he probably have, he's never said nothing weird. Like, he sent me what camera to get. He gives me advice on content, like, yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, like, I think one thing I've learned in my years growing up, and something I think loads of men will definitely learn, you could never understand women. Women are going to be something that you could never truly understand and get your head around as a guy. But you just have to do right by the women around you. Be a gentleman in the best ways that you can possible. Treat people around you with love and respect. But there's no really understanding the larger conversation or actions that go around on the internet and stuff, because I don't get it. Because I hear a lot of people online have a lot of very passionate things to say, a lot of very forthright things to say, a lot of very angry things to say, a lot of very anti this, anti-woman beater, anti-rape, whatever, right? But then every time that person goes to court, every time that person is accused that goes to court, I always see them holding hands with a woman, you know? I can't remember the last time I've seen a prominent person who's been accused of something heinous, like raping women, touching kids, beating up a lady, not go to court with a woman on their arm. Like, what the hell is that about? Like, how are you with this guy when he's got that shit on his jacket, when he's been accused of these type of things? Like, well, one for this. Like, if Diddy comes out, if Diddy bust case, you think he's going to be short of other Blazian girls? Do you think if Diddy bust case now, there's not going to be a queue of other Blazian girls similar looking to Cassie that are going to be queuing up to take that spot? Do you honestly think Young Miami's are going to suddenly start popping up, twirling her hair in the sky? Like, it's fascinating. It's like, bruh, why don't you think that could be you? Why are you so certain that you are immune to this? Like, it's just, I don't know. To me, it's puzzling. It's fucking, but I guess it was the same way as like guys with like girls, isn't it? Guys with girls, sometimes a guy will say a lot of stuff. Like, guys online say a lot of things about body count. You know, that's a conversation you hear a lot on the timeline. Well, body count, oh, if she's fucked more than 2 people, she's basically a whore. I'm never going to touch her, right? Guys online have a lot of chat for body count. But in real life, right? If fucking Bonnie Blue said, hey, I want to be your wife, they're fucking putting 10 rings on that finger, you know? People like to talk a big game, but in real life, in their actual, you know, day-to-day lives, they don't actually practice what they preach. So I guess across the board, forget genders, we're all full of shit. It's just funny in what areas we're full of shit in, because the areas we are full of shit in could be quite lethal, you know? We're full of shit in areas that could honestly cost us our lives or our freedom. That's the areas we're full of shit in. You gotta be wary. But regardless, big up to everybody involved. Big up to everybody involved.